This disclaimer image establishes the channel's mission to help busy home cooks break down complicated recipes into simple, visual step-by-step guides. The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. Osso Buco, classic Italian braised veal shanks. Discover the magic of this iconic Milanese dish. Tender veal shanks are slowly braised in a rich wine and vegetable sauce until fall-apart tender, then finished with a bright gremolata of lemon, parsley, and garlic. The secret: the marrow-filled bone that infuses incredible flavor into every bite. Here is the written ingredient list for Osso Buco Italian braised veal shanks recipe guide. Welcome to making Osso Buco. Let's get organized with everything you'll need. For the main dish, you'll start with 6 veal shanks. These are cross-cut pieces of veal leg with that beautiful bone in the middle. You'll also need some basic pantry items: flour for coating, olive oil and butter for cooking, plus salt and pepper for seasoning. For your aromatics, that's the flavor base. You'll need 1 onion, a carrot, 2 celery ribs, and 4 garlic cloves. Make sure to mince these very finely. You'll also need canned tomatoes. Drain and crush them, a cup of dry white wine, and 2 cups of chicken stock. Don't forget fresh thyme sprigs and a bay leaf for that authentic Italian flavor. The star finishing touch is the gremolata, a bright, fresh mixture of minced parsley, lemon zest, and garlic that brings everything together. If you're using store-bought broth instead of homemade stock, grab some powdered gelatin to make your sauce extra rich and silky. Optional but helpful: butcher's twine to tie around each shank so they hold their shape while cooking. Before we start cooking, let's prep everything. This makes the actual cooking so much easier. First, take your veal shanks and season them generously on all sides with salt and pepper. If you have butcher's twine, wrap a piece around each shank like a belt and tie it tight. This helps them stay together while braising. But don't worry if you skip this step. Next, pour your flour into a shallow bowl. You'll lightly coat each shank in flour, then shake off any excess. We want just a thin dusting, not a thick coating. Now for the vegetables. This is important. Chop your onion, carrot, celery, and garlic into very tiny pieces. We're talking really fine here because these will melt into your sauce. If chopping isn't your strong suit, no shame in using a food processor to pulse them into a fine mince. For the tomatoes, drain them from the can. Then use your hands to gently crush them and remove the seeds. We just want the flesh. Finally, make your gremolata by mixing together the minced parsley, lemon zest, and garlic in a small bowl. Set this aside. You'll add it at the end. Now you're ready to cook. Time to bring this dish to life. Start by preheating your oven to 325 degrees F. Heat olive oil in a large Dutch oven over medium-high heat until it shimmers, working in batches so you don't crowd the pan. Add your floured shanks and let them brown for about 4 minutes. On each side, you want a nice golden color. This builds flavor. If they start to burn, lower the heat. Transfer the browned shanks to a plate and repeat with the remaining pieces. Now add butter to your pot, along with all those finely minced vegetables, the onion, carrot, celery, and garlic. Stir them around for about 6 minutes until they soften and turn light golden. This is building your flavor base. Next, add your crushed tomatoes, wine, and chicken stock, along with the thyme and bay leaf. Return all your shanks to the pot with any juices that collected. On the plate, arrange them in an even layer. The liquid should almost cover them. If it doesn't, add a bit more stock or water. Bring everything to a gentle simmer. Cut a circle of parchment paper to fit inside your pot. This acts as a lid that lets some moisture escape while keeping things from drying out. Cover the shanks with this parchment lid and slide the pot into your preheated oven. Let it braise for 2 hours. Then remove the parchment and continue cooking for another hour until the meat is so tender a fork slides right in. Check occasionally. If it looks dry, add a splash of stock or water. During the last 20 minutes of cooking, stir in 1 to 2 teaspoons of your gremolata. This infuses the dish with bright flavor. When done, carefully transfer the shanks to a serving platter. Skim off any fat floating on top of the sauce with a spoon. The sauce should be thick and rich. If it's too thin, simmer it on the stove top for a few minutes. If too thick, add a splash of water. Remove the twine if you used it. Then serve each shank with plenty of sauce spooned over the top. Pass the remaining gremolata at the table so everyone can add more of that fresh, zesty flavor. Traditionally, this is served over creamy saffron risotto. Enjoy your masterpiece.